Hello, we are team 28. We are going to explain the user story types and properties, so try it. I am Berkay Durmuş and my friend is Eren Aydın. We are both sophomore industrial engineering students. I want to start with what is user story. In software development and product management, a user story is an informal and natural language description of a software system. A user story is a tool and it is used in the Agile software development to capture and description of a software feature from the end user perspective. A user story describes the type of user, what they want and why they want it, and how they're going to use it. To sum up, user story helps to create the simplified description of our requirements. Why user stories are important? With user story approach, we replace big upfront design with a just enough approach. User story reduces time spent on writing documentation by emphasizing the customer-centric conversations. Consequently, user stories allows teams to deliver quality software more quickly, which is what customers and users need and wanted. There are quite a few benefits for adapting user story approach in agile development, such as it is simple and it consists the formats and which saves our time. It focuses to the product that clients really wants and needs. It's avoids introducing details too early that will provide design options and inappropriately lock developers into one solution, and also it avoids the misunderstanding. Basic concepts of user story. It needs to be brief description of the need of the user, the conversations that happen during backlog grooming and iteration planning to spend details, the tests that confirm the story satisfactory completion. Also, we have invest words. It's basically explains the basic of the concepts user story. It must be independent. It should be self-contained in a way that allows to be released without depending on another. Secondly, it must be negotiable because user story should not be written like a contract. It must not be a strict way in that. It just captures the essence of the user's needs and nothing more. It must be valuable. Thirdly, it delivers value to the end user. Fourthly, it must be estimable. User stories have to able to be estimated so it can be properly prioritized and fit into the sprint, because it's very important to fit them into the sprints. It needs to be small. A user story is a small chunk of work that allows it to be completed in about 3 or 4 days. That's also important. And finally, it must be testable, and the user story has to be confirmed via pre-written acceptance criteria. As you can see, there's a user story template. It means it explains what needs to be included with 3 Ws: who, wants, what, and why. It explains who it is for and what it expects from the system and why it's important. Also, there's another user story examples. Can you see? And I'm leaving the word to Eren now. You will continue.
I will continue with the user story map template. It's popularized by Jeff Patton in 2005. User story mapping is an agile way to manage product backlogs. Quite simply, user story mapping is a framework that product teams use for release planning, and it helps them stay focused on the business value and release features that customers care about. And teams could easily congregate in a conference room and then map user stories together on a whiteboard. After that, there are steps for the how to create a user story map. Firstly, you should understand your users. Focusing groups and tests can give insight into what your users do when interacting with your product. When planning a new project, look at past results along with industry research to make sure you are putting the user first. The second one is identifying the problem. It keeps a user-first mindset during this step to visualize how the end user will experience the product. Third one, map user activities. Interaction with your product will come in the form of user activities. These activities act as entry points as you create your user story map. They should be fairly broad, as more specific user stories will make up the actions behind each activity. The next step, map user stories under user activities. Under each activity, a series of user stories create the larger customer journey. After that, prioritize. After you identify and map out user activities and their corresponding stories, the production team can start prioritizing user stories. Rank stories vertically from most important to least important to help the production team understanding which stories have the most impact in the customer journey. After that, identify roadblocks. As the user story map takes shape, the team may begin to spot areas of missing information, bottlenecks, or other issues that might slow down production. Use this step to identify solutions and workarounds. And the last step is planning the sprint. After user activities and stories are prioritized, they can be batched out into sprints where each piece of the user story map is assigned to a member of the production team with a clear explanation of how it should be completed. And the last part is the benefits of them. Brainstorming, discussing, and collaboratively prioritize user needs, and engage all team members in the process of user story map creation and collaboration with your entire team. Arrange and prioritize user activities and tasks and divide them into related epics or user stories. And lastly, collaborate with your on-site or remote team in real time or asynchronously. And these are our references, and that's all. Thank you for listening.